Cape Town International Convention Centre today. It will go up until Friday. President Jacob Zuma will lead a high-powered government delegation of 12 ministers and deputy ministers, 5 premiers and 5 metropolitan municipality mayors. The 25th WEF on Africa will bring together African and global leaders from government, business and civil society to take stock of progress over the last 25 years. Over 1,300 delegates from close to 80 countries are expected to attend. The theme for the conference this year is Then and Now, Reimagining Africa's Future. Now, our economics anchor, Frances Hurd, she's attending the summit. She joins us now from the Convention Centre in Cape Town. Very good morning to you, Frances. Thank you for joining us. I understand you've brought some wonderful weather there in Cape Town as well.
It's dismal, but you know, we were hyped up for something really awful. The rain, at least it has cleared this morning, but not great. And Eben, you know, I feel like every time South Africa does something really big with delegates from all over the world, like the World Cup, like Mandela's funeral, the weather always seems to be dire, but that's just par for the course. Not too bad here inside the International Convention Centre.
Showers of blessings, Frances. That's what it is. Showers of blessings. Why don't you ask you a pertinent question here that people have been asking me on social media. It's now 25th year of the World Economic Forum here in Africa, but the gap between rich and poor in South Africa and the rest of the continent is actually been widening during that entire period. What is the purpose then, or is there a point in these kinds of gatherings then?
Well, that is one of the major themes. How does growth become sustainable? Because we've seen in the last decade and a half, Africa, once this forgotten continent, started rising, started reporting these huge growth rates. Of course, you have to consider that some of these countries are small. They're coming off a low base, so it's easy to report these big numbers. South Africa hasn't been doing that. But like you say, the growth hasn't always been inclusive. And you're right, because we've been talking about this for a long time. So what does this achieve? I guess it brings together business leaders, government leaders, leaders from communities. And WEF meetings are quite different because there are no resolutions as such, but people can come and talk about these challenges. And you've got to hope that a lot of things happen on the side, a lot of trade, a lot of opportunities out of these meetings in the past and out of African owns initiative. We have the Grow Africa solution, which looks at agriculture. And I guess we're not sure if something will come out of it, but it will be talked about. And there are a lot of initiatives here to talk about women. Pumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, our own former deputy president from the UN Initiative on Gender Parity, she's here. And one of the things that's often talked about is if you get women included in the economy, earning money, they often uplift communities, they uplift their own families. So that is one strong drive here towards sustainable growth.
Now, Frances, the biggest economy on the continent, key focus I'm sure will be Nigeria. Slump in oil prices has really put a lot of pressure on the Nigerian economy. How do we see that play out into the reimagining Africa's future then?
Well, Nigeria is an interesting one because, of course, Nigeria is a huge exporter of oil. And there was big concern about Nigeria when these oil prices started plunging. You may remember just before that, South Africa heard the news that Nigeria's economy had overtaken ours and become the biggest in Africa. Then the oil slump happened. We do have some growth rates out of Nigeria last year, above 6%. So Nigeria is not doing too badly, and that at least shows that Nigeria's economy is diversifying. It's not only reliant on oil. But I guess what all the delegates here have to consider is that we are in this limbo. So we had those great growth rates. We had that huge oil boom for countries like Nigeria, Angola and others. Now what's going to happen in future? Can we sustain the growth rates that we've seen? And it looks like Nigeria will be okay this year. Growth rates overall heading towards 5% this year, above 5% next year. So Africa not looking too bad. But the delegates here are going to have to look further into the future, because what we have is this huge young population coming up. In the next 15 years. They're talking about this African youth bulge, 1 billion people in entering the working age market. So 1 billion out of a population that's heading towards 2 billion. It's a huge bulge. How do you keep those people employed when the rest of the world is becoming more competitive? What if industry is moving towards using machines and we still have all these laborers not skilled enough to enter that market? So we're looking ahead, and that, of course, is a huge concern for Nigeria as well.
Francis, thank you. I like the committed to improving the state of the world there behind you. If that's a premise, it's a very good thing. I hope the weather improves, but I can tell you that it's a cold front, Cape Town cold front, that'll be there for the next 5 days. So if you guys wanted to go sightseeing, it's probably the wrong time to do that. Thank you, Francis.
Thank you.